Listener's note, warning. This show is loaded with gist so powerful, it might just push you into a relationship and straight down the aisle. If you're not ready to hear wedding bells and say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, listen at your own risk. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Now, looking back at the past 10 years, what year would you say was the wildest for you? Like, if you were to give an award for the craziest year in the past 10 years, what year would win it for you? I don't know your answer, but for me, it will be 2020. 2020 was that year, guys. Like, 2020 made me realize a lot about life. 2020 taught me that no matter who you are, what you have to do, where you have to go, or who you need to see, 2020 taught me that that plan can wait. You can never be in a hurry. I learned patience and humility by force. Things that I never thought could happen happened in 2020, like working from home, church online service, or people getting married inside a WhatsApp group. Guys, 2020 was a wild year. For those of you who need help remembering the beauty behind the madness of 2020, or if you are living outside Nigeria and you have no idea what happened in Nigeria in the year 2020, let me give you a quick recap of everything that happened that year. As we were shouting Happy New Year in 2020, the first thing that hit us big in January that year was an explosion in Ogun State, destroying houses, cars, and companies, and killing over 50 people. We cried and cried. We did not know what was coming in February. Now, in February, we recorded the first COVID-19 case in Nigeria. Like, guys, when we heard this news, everyone laughed like it wasn't anything serious. The funniest part here was the story that came with it. That one man traveled to Italy and ate Italian soup, only for the soup to be made by a Chinese. The soup had bat meat, which the man ate only for the soup to put the man in soup. The whole story was a super story. Like, to be honest, nobody took the whole thing serious at all. That time, if you sneeze like 5 times, the person on the other street is the person that will be telling you, God bless you, bro, God bless you. Now, I won't blame Nigerians and how they reacted because that is not the first time we're hearing something like that. I mean, Odieshi de our body, nothing can penetrate. But then again, we did not know that March was coming. In March, we had one Abule Ado explosion like that killed over 20 people and burnt buildings, including the famous girls' boarding school. You guys remember that one now? We now had a serious lockdown. I can remember, I think it was March 4 or so. Like, March us. No going out, no coming in. Everybody bought hand sanitizer and a face mask. That time, if you mistakenly sneezed in public, you're a suspect. You cough, you're a suspect. If you eat without washing your hands, you're a suspect. The annoying part was that March was my birthday month. And before March, all my friends were promising me different gifts. One said, I'll buy you a Casio wristwatch. Till today, I have not seen any Casio. One said, I'm going to get you this white Air Force. Once you step on it, everywhere bigger than. One said, I'll get you this kind of perfume that once you spray like this, you will cause trouble. When the pandemic hit, I did not see Air Force, talk less of fresh air. Nobody bought me anything, just voice notes and happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. March was a madness. I don't know if it's only me, but I started realizing a lot about my house and myself. Like, I noticed that my room had cobwebs, I noticed I was adding weight, and I had a TV that actually worked. For the first time in my life, I was watching the news every day. Like, it was crazy. I was adding weight, That time, all I did was eat, sleep, watch film, repeat. Eat, sleep, watch film, repeat. Life was so good for those who had money and bad for those whose family members were part or victims of COVID-19. In April, May, June, and July, Things got worse with COVID. My mother did not let me rest with the different messages she was sending on WhatsApp. Edgar, they said that if you bathe with salt, you will not have COVID-19. That time, everywhere you go, even if you are not given food to eat, you will be offered soap to wash your hand or salt to have your bath. If you see the salt I was using to bathe at that time, my brother, that salt was an insult. I was using bags of salt every day. They even said we should put onion around the house. I don't even know how that one works. Maybe as the spirit of COVID-19 is moving, once they just see the onions, they will just start crying and they will go back. Life was a mess, guys. Every day one person must die. It was really bad. But funny enough, that was the period when social media now came alive. Since there was no work, everyone was online. Like we had musicians battle. You guys remember now, producers battle on Instagram, girls twerking, TikTok challenges, people doing giveaway, and crazy videos of Odumeje, the liquid metal. You guys remember these things, eh? In August and September, the Boko Haram insurgents and bandits did not let the North to rest. If they did not kidnap today, they are killing Christians in the North. Guys, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. Then October 2020 came. And for the first time in a long time, the Nigerian youths spoke in one voice and collectively agreed to protest against police brutality and bad leadership. Guys, it was a brilliant move that shocked the government like Shocky. People came in their numbers, different locations, holding placards, shouting at the top of their voice, sweating together. Like celebrities joined the protest, media houses joined the protest, pastors joined the protest, and everybody came out that week to protest. It was crazy. And in the midst of all of this, I found love in a hopeless place. I met my crime fighter, my Wonder Woman, my Mary Slessor, and my Okonjo Iweala. The blue in my sky, the drop in my rain, the yellow in my sun, the SARS in my end. I met someone I fell in love with at first sight. I met Amina. I liked everything about her. The only small problem was that she was Muslim and I am Christian, and even if we were fighting for the same cause that day, I was about to cross a line I couldn't cross. This is Fate or Feelings. Welcome to another episode of Why Am I Still Single by Check Edgar. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. Check. This is a Check Edgar production. A Check Edgar production. This is for the single guys and the single ladies. Edgar doesn't lie. Why am I still single? Still single. Why am I still?
I want a wife and a family. This kind of life is not right for me. I told my guys how things can be. When I fall in love, I fall for real. I know you want me, don't waste my time. I want a girl that is set and fine. I'm going crazy, so please be mine. God, please, why?
Okay, now it is important you know that people had different reasons for joining the protest during End SARS. Most people, or allow me say most youths, protested genuinely because of change. I know stories of friends who had been wrongly arrested by the police so many times. As a matter of fact, my phone has been searched twice because some policemen looked at me in a car and felt, no, this guy is too young to be driving a car. So they concluded I was a Yahoo boy. Now, apart from those who genuinely went to protest for change, there are others who went there for other reasons. Some people went there to eat. Some went there to snap pictures for the gram. Some went there to meet celebrities. Macaroni is coming. Let me go and snap and meet him. Some went there to steal, while some went there to look for babes. I did not go there to look for babe. I went there for justice. But when I saw Amina, everything changed. So it was the first day of the protest, October 1st or 2nd, I can't remember. I went to Ikeja to protest with my friends, Danny Boy and Anthony Ume. So we're just out there marching, chanting, and suddenly, someone just tapped my shoulder. I turned back and saw this beautiful young lady in a hijab with plenty of cardboards and marker. She looked at me and asked, "You're not holding anything. Do you want one?" If you know me very well, you will know that I can read signs a lot. And most of the time I am never wrong. There is nothing you can tell me this lady liked me. Okay, why didn't she give Anton or Danny Boy? Why did she ask me first? No, tell me. Why did she ask me first? There must be something about me that attracted her. But as a sharp guy, I needed more signs. So I told her I just got there and, didn't get the chance to buy a cardboard. Immediately, she gave me one and asked what I would like to write on it. I wanted to say, your number. But I realized that if I did that, apart from End SARS, she might just end me. So I told her to write anything on it, and she wrote, "End police brutality now." If you see the handwriting, my God, her G alone looks like 3 letters. Her handwriting was so fine. Before I could even compliment her, the girl had vanished. But for some reason, I had a feeling I was going to see her again. About 15 minutes later, some lady had collapsed and needed water. If you see the way Amina was running to get water from her friend's car, I was so amazed. This girl ran, jumped, and even flew just to save one life. I started asking myself if she could do this for someone she didn't know from Adam. What will she now do for her own Adam? Oh, Una Adam. Even the way she was shouting, was very rhythmic. Her voice was full of life and happiness. By the way she was dressed, you can tell that she is not one of those suffering directly from the police brutality. This girl looked so fine, covered up, and wore some mad fancy glasses. All those glasses that only first class students used to wear. I told my guy, Anton, that I liked the girl and wanted to say hello to her. Anton was not even interested in my talk. For him, this was an opportunity to get back at the police officers who seized his phone and stole his money. Amina had this determination in her eyes. There was this calm about her, like she wasn't just protesting. To me, it looked like she was praying. And boy, that got my attention. So a few hours later, I went to meet her and I created a plan on how I was going to start talking to her. Now, what I'm about to tell you is a secret most guys wouldn't like to share. But because this is my podcast and Edgar doesn't lie, I'll teach you some tricks that guys normally use. So I walked up to her and I asked her this question. I said, "Sorry," of course with my deep voice. "Sorry, there is something about your eyes. It's telling me a story. Is it okay if you tell me why you're protesting?" Now, let me not lie. Let me not lie. I did not see anything in her eyes. All I know is that the moment you find something attractive in a lady or in a woman and you tell her to explain how she got that attractive part, the thing will make her smile and confident in herself. You can say, there is something interesting about your smile or your hair or how you walk or how you talk. Then you now add the amazing quality like, "Oh, I like it. Your smile is beautiful," or "Your hair is lovely." By the way, this was a trick that worked in 2020. You know how women always update these things. So that time, dollar was not up. Now dollar has gone up and pleasantries are now more expensive. You guys know that words are not cheap anymore, Abi. So if it doesn't work now, understand that these things have been updated. Now, back to Amina. After asking her about her reason for protesting, she said that the reason she was protesting was because a policeman shot her ex-boyfriend on his way back from a party. And because of that, he lost his legs and the relationship. I felt very bad for him. She immediately asked me the same question, and I told her that I was protesting because I wanted a better country. Nalayo. She started smiling. She asked for my name and I told her, Edgar. She was like,
Edgar. That's a very nice name. Sounds like Greek.
I told her it was Old English. She said she liked the name and I was unique. You needed to see the way my heart was pumping when she was talking. I was super excited inside. I did not even ask her. She told me her name was Amina and that she came to also help those who needed paper and water during the protests. Amina. Before I knew it, we took a walk together and went to sit under a tree. We talked about our current jobs and our future plans. She asked about my family and my background. It was when she was sharing about her background that it even hit me that this lady is Muslim. I don't even know how we got there, but we started talking about relationships. She asked if my girlfriend came to protest too. She did use that. I just laughed and I told her that I was single. She kept laughing and said I was a liar. But you know me now, Edgar doesn't lie. I asked her if she was single. She said yes as well. That was the second sign that I was protesting for the right reason. We exchanged numbers and started chatting on WhatsApp. We would have long calls and series of voice notes, but she didn't have video calls with me at first. And she said she didn't feel comfortable yet. And I understood it was good. It was okay. Every day during the protest, I would get there early just to hang out with Amina. We would scream together, eat together, and laugh together. The protest was making sense for so many obvious reasons. It got to one point where Amina was bringing packaged food for me. She called it my protest package. After protesting in the morning, we would leave the area to have lunch at a restaurant nearby. Everything was making sense. Like play, we became close friends. Our friendship grew so fast. Even after the protest was over, we would meet, visit the cinema together, go out together, and eat a lot together. By December, we were already sharing deep stuff with each other. It was like I had known her for 4 years. I remember telling myself one time, I think I have found the one. Everything was making sense until one day, she asked me a question that I didn't have the answer. A question about my faith. When we return, I'll share the question and everything that happened after it. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out.
Promo.
Tired of waking up in the morning to a lonely bed? Has your pillow been giving you the silent treatment? Are you tired of rewatching old romantic movies, wondering when it would finally be your turn to fall in love while walking in the rain hand in hand with your soulmate? Well, we have absolutely nothing to solve your problem. In fact, I'm here to offer you nothing. No miracle cure, no magic potion, nothing. Not even a free t-shirt. Just the smooth, buttery sound of my voice. But if you have a business, a product, or even a secret family recipe for jollof rice that you think the world needs to know about, here is your chance. Until I get real sponsors and actual products, you will have to endure these silly ads. But you can change that. Yes, you can be the hero of this podcast by sponsoring an episode. Send me an email to edgar@checkedgar.com if you want to hear your business being advertised in the smoothest, most handsomely voiced way possible. Until then, well, brace yourself. Checkmates, this is what you get. You know, religion comes with doctrine, and doctrine sometimes can be good or bad, depending on how favorable the rules are. For example, as a Christian, you grow with the beliefs that there is something more than what you see. There is a spirit who is a God who created the world and everything in it. Your job is to obey him. If you obey him, you are safe. If you don't, you get punished. Some of the good sides to Christianity are that you are taught peace, love, how to communicate with God, and selflessness. Now, one of the bad sides is that You can't lie, marry more than one woman, or even marry from another religion. And one way or the other, that hinders your choice when you're choosing your partner or who you want to marry. Now, I have fallen in love with a Muslim in the past, but I was in secondary school. And you know very well that no one counts secondary school as anything serious. But Amina was different. I knew from the moment I saw her that she was a Muslim, but I felt she was just like me. I know we have different beliefs and philosophies about life and things that happen when we die. But why does religion have to affect law when I'm choosing the person I want when I am alive? I've had a series of conversations about this with my mom, and her response is always that love isn't everything in a marriage. She would say that religion should be the balance, and marrying someone from another religion can confuse our children. Now, I'm not arguing that she doesn't have a point, but my issue is that no one was born a Christian or a Muslim. We all grew to believe these things and accept this knowledge. I am not saying that religion isn't true, but if you spend your time with Amina, you will notice that this girl is different. There was this day I went to the cinema with Amina, and after watching this Nigerian film, yes, I watch Nigerian films in the cinema, and so, anyway, after watching this movie, Amina asked me if I could ever marry a Muslim. I knew my answer was no, but I couldn't say it. Like, there are Christians I have dated in the past that have shown me shege, but Amina was pure, kind, and sweet. I looked at her and I said, I don't know. She smiled and said she could marry anyone, so far the man brings her peace and truly loves her. Yeah? I was shocked. She said ever since her ex died, she hasn't found a Muslim guy she likes. That most of the guys that she likes are just Christians. Guys, if you see the way I was excited about my Christian brothers, I told her that ever since, I have never seen a Christian or Muslim to date. We laughed about it. I went to our various houses. So I started telling my friends about her, Noel and Fela. I told them about how amazing Amina is and that I truly like Amina. Now, Fela was cool with it. He was tired of my single stories and wanted me to date anybody, whether the girl is a go-to or not, just dates. Fela was like, if we got married, he would visit us twice a year, during Christmas and Ilea. You guys know how Fela likes food now. Now, Noel was not cool with it at all. Noel didn't see how it would work. Noel started asking me so many questions. Edgar, do you know it is a sin? How would your children cope? Who rules the home, Jesus or Muhammad? What law guides how you live? Are your parents going to be proud? How do you preach Christ if you know that your home isn't filled with Christ? Are your children Christians, Muslims, or Christmas? His questions were scattering my head. I couldn't answer anyone until my brain clicked. And I was like, why don't I try to convert her? I mean, if she's open to it, that is well. Noel was like, it is a wrong idea. You are not only looking for family trouble, you are looking for family causes. Now, Fela said it was a wrong idea too, because he was not going to be able to eat Ilea meat during Ilea. But my question was, what if? What if I convert her and our families are cool with it? Will God be pleased? Everybody was quiet. Usually when everyone is quiet like that, it means you are making sense. So I decided to give it a shot. 2 weeks later, I called Amina and I told her about this special program in my church where we were told to invite people to the service. That the pastor was going to talk about love and marriage. I wanted something that would just interest her to come. Amina was quiet for some time. When she finally spoke, she told me that she wasn't going to be able to make it that Sunday, that she had one event at her auntie's house. I felt bad, but I didn't give up. I kept inviting her every Sunday and Wednesday for midweek programs. She kept giving excuses that she had one program or that she was sick or something came up. However, she was always available whenever we went to the cinema or we were going to go and visit the restaurants. So one day, we went to a friend's comedy show. After the event, I asked her why she didn't want to follow me to church. She said she couldn't, that her parents would disown her if they ever found out. I was shocked. She said that she attended church one time before and mistakenly posted it on her WhatsApp that when she got home, her father gave her the beating of her life. I felt very sorry for her. She asked if I've ever been to a mosque, and I said no. She just smiled. Guys, I did not give up. I begged her to visit one more time, that nobody will know. She looked at me and said she's willing to take that risk if only I agreed to her deal. I was like, okay, oh yeah, now tell me what's your deal. She said I would visit her family the Saturday that was coming. Now, she said this because she thought I was going to refuse and cancel the whole thing, but I told her it was a deal. She laughed and told me she was going to come to church. Now, the Sunday Amina came to church, she didn't tie a scarf or look like a Muslim at all. She dressed differently. She didn't even wear her glasses. For the first time, I saw another beautiful side of Amina. She sat by my side and told me not to call her Amina at all, but I should call her Mata. Omo, the matter are plenty. I kept laughing as she was struggling to open the Bible and read the King James Version. She looked cute doing it, by the way. After church, we now met the head pastor. The head pastor asked for her name and she said, Mata. He asked me if she was my girlfriend. I said no, but very soon she would be. Mata laughed. In short, everybody laughed. The head pastor looked at us and said, the spirit is telling me that she is the one for you. Mata was so surprised. Now, okay, I don't think Mata is listening, but let me confess. The head pastor was not the real head pastor. It was fella that arranged the whole thing so that she will not love me some more. You guys understand now? He's not like the real head pastor of the church. He's somebody that we use. Anyway, after church, Amina told me that she enjoyed her time and hopefully one day she would come again. I told her that the next time she comes to church would be the day she says yes to me at the altar. She laughed and said,
We shall see about that.
Immediately I asked her, do you ever think there is a place or time when you become a Christian? Amina looked at me and asked,
How many religions do you know?
I said about 4. She said I should mention them. I said Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and some Edo traditional religion. She now asked me,
How many have you vetted?
I was speechless. She continued,
You're only a Christian because you were born a Christian. You have spent your life searching for the right church to serve your God. I have spent most of my life vetting religion. And at the end of the day, I chose Islam. If we ever get married and one of us had to convert, I am sure it will be you.
Guys, if you see the way my mouth opened there, you will not believe it. I have never been that humbled in my life before. Amina continued and said that it was my turn to fulfill my promise. Hey! She told me that her family was inviting their families and friends to come around that Saturday, that she wanted me to come as her friend. I told her no problem. This girl begged me. She told me, she said, Edgar, be yourself, be yourself. I did not listen. The first mistake I made was that I went to go and wear kaftan and all those Hausa cap. So when I got in, I looked like them. Her mother was just looking at me in a very weird manner. Like, is he one of us or is he not? The second mistake I made was I was speaking with the Hausa accent. I like to lie. I always forget that not all Muslims are from the north. My accent was so weird that even Amina was confused. The third mistake I made was that when my elder brother asked me for my name, I said Edgar, but you can call me Abdul Basit. Where did I get Abdul Basit from? He asked me for my state of origin. I said Edo. That was when I knew that I'd already even messed everything up. Now, when I met her father, he didn't say much. He was very calm and he spoke gently. He asked for my name. I said Edgar. He immediately asked if I was Muslim, and I said no. The whole room changed. He now asked me if my parents knew I was here. I said no. He asked who invited me. I said Amina. He now asked me if I liked his daughter. Now, to be honest, when he asked this question, I did not even know how to answer. I did not know if it was a test of boldness or a test of depth. All I remember is that about 15 people were looking at me at the same time, waiting for me to answer. Then suddenly, I looked at my right and I saw my spirit walking away from me with a voice saying, "Don't say it, don't say it, Edgar, don't say it, don't say it." I smiled and told him, "Sir, your daughter is my friend, and I like all my friends." He too, he smiled, and he told me straight to my face, "Mr. Edgar, if my daughter dies today, is she going to heaven or hell?" Everyone started laughing except Amina. I didn't even know what to say. I just sat down there and started praying in my mind, "God, let me live here in one piece." They offered me food, drink, and snacks. I ate and drank, but my mind was not there. After a while, I ordered my ride and I went home. When I got home, I saw a long message from Amina apologizing about everything that happened. She begged and promised to make it up to me. I told her I wasn't upset, but confused because her father's question hit me deep. If I said she would make heaven, I would sound as a hypocrite because she is a Muslim. If I'd said she would go to hell, I would sound judgmental and evil. Her father caught me in a big trap. A trap I could not even escape from. But to be honest, sometimes I feel like, why can't we just live and stay guided by the things we see and know? Like, why can't the world be divided into good or bad people? Now, I know some of you hold religion highly. I do myself. As a matter of fact, I have a Bible club. But sometimes when I'm alone with my thoughts, I have so many questions to ask and no one to answer. Especially when it comes to the topic of dating. Some Christian churches will not allow you to marry other Christian churches. Some will not even allow you to marry from other branches or people outside a certain level of spirituality. I'm serious, it's crazy, guys. Gradually, I was forced to stop talking to Amina. As a matter of fact, I was forced to stop seeing her. Her father would police her around, and at some point, she told me herself that we had to stop talking. Do you know that her father once slapped her when she mentioned that she liked me at home? If her father can slap his daughter, what do you think he would do to me? The last time I saw Amina, I think it was sometime in 2023. She was already married to one afar like that with 2 or 3 kids. Was she happily married? I think so. Of course I think so. I mean, not all stories must end sadly. Just because someone missed you doesn't mean that there isn't someone better for them elsewhere. Do you get? I have a question though. What's your take on religion and its role in choosing a partner? Do you believe all your friends who do not believe in your religion are going to lose their lives in hell? I want you guys to drop it in the comments if you can. And to all those Christians who are married to Muslims, please share with me the battle you had to face. I want to learn from you guys right now because another Muslim lady is entering my eye. Edgar doesn't lie. And that's the end of this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with those who are single, dating, or married. Rate the podcast and please drop a comment. And yes, you can donate to support the podcast. $3 will go a long way. If you have a story to share, then please send it to me through my email address, edgar@checkedgar.com. Or for a quicker response, you can chat me with the chat box on my website, www.checkedgar.com. I will respond in 3 hours. I promise. Edgar doesn't lie. Remember, the podcast ends the day I get married. So every Friday, I am always going to be here sharing stories with you guys. Now, don't forget to tell your friends, your beautiful friends, that Edgar is single and he would love to go on a date with them. Just send a message to my email at edgar@checkedgar.com. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. See you guys next week Friday. Love you guys. Mwah.